I want to play something that I think, yet again, somehow this one video has sent people spiraling into the abyss on any front because they don't like Shedeur, because they do like Shedeur, because they don't like Monken, because they do like Monken. Brown Social put out the media of Todd Monken being greeted by Shedeur, Sanders, and Berea today.
How we doing, man? Good. Then we tried to draft your ass last year. It's all worked out. Yeah. You remember that, right?
Yeah, that's what I was about to tell you.
Someday we'll get a chance to talk about that.
Yeah.
All right. That's a 15-second clip?
It was very quick, yeah.
To me, it's the epitome of, like, the sugary sweetness of social media. I don't necessarily look at this and draw huge sweeping inferences. It was just feel-good Friday stuff. Monken's in a good mood. Shedeur's smiling. That's what I took of it. And then, dear God, I read the comments and quote tweets, and it really did open up the abyss for many people.
Yeah, people got really excited. My big takeaway before social media went crazy was, so Shedeur is like me and that we don't like people to randomly touch him. Because Monken gets all over his shoulder like that, and you see Shedeur, he does this with his hands. Like he just curls up as if like, I don't know how you're going to touch me right now, but I don't really want to be touched in the moment. And then he lets him,
Shedeur?
And then he lets him touch his. No, I mean, listen, I'm just like Shedeur that way. I don't like to be touched. I don't know what you're. And Monken was like violently shaking his arm. I think he got worried. He was genuinely just going to pop something out of its socket or something. It was a very weird display, a very excitable Monken in that moment.
An excitable Monken.
That was an excitable Monken.
You know, actually, that's the thing I'm most excited for is excitable Monken.
He was jacked up.
Press conferences, excitable Monken.
He's all jacked up.
Sidelines. You loved when Kevin Stefanski lost his crap at the end of the season in pivotal moments. You loved it.
I do. I love that stuff.
Get ready for every single game of excitable Monken on the sidelines.
Well, I don't think we're ready for a really excitable Monken in general because he's going to be a crazy person.
I'm ready for it.
I miss it so bad. I love this stuff. I love that part of the game. I love head coaches losing their mind. I love head coaches feeling as if they care as much as we do about the whole thing. Like, I loved it. In fact, I loved every bit of what Monken, in a weird turn of events. We'll play it in quick hits. Monken had this whole audio piece about they're like, so what's your favorite part of Cleveland? And he's like, my office. I don't really leave it.
You made him sound like Jack Nicholson.
Because that's how he sounded.
My office.
And I loved it. He's a psycho. He's a football psycho, and that's all I've ever asked for.
I think this got a lot of people either incredibly excited or incredibly mad. Where I'm at with it is, all I ever wanted was whatever next head coach was going to be here would have an open mind with any of the quarterbacks. Because you have this team is not in a position where you can be dismissive or I didn't like that guy personally. It's like, look at the quarterback room. Until you figure somebody else out in here, these are your best bets to have a decent chance to do anything next year. I do like the idea that Todd clearly has a pre-existing relationship with Todd that didn't look like Kevin Stefanski sourpussing Shedeur Sanders in the pre-draft process.
And so that was the big thing, is we got nothing from Stefanski for months on end. We'd asked him point blank at training camp. We asked him about Shedeur Sanders, and he wouldn't say his name in that interview as well. For months, Stefanski just acted as if Shedeur didn't even exist. And that bothered a lot of people. It bothered myself. It bothered a lot of Shedeur fans out there. This is a head coach wrapping his arms around Shedeur instantly, and in fact, in a weird way, aggressively trying to put his arms all over Shedeur in a way that Shedeur seemed uncomfortable with. But
he's like, I'm not used to being touched after Kevin Stefanski.
Really used to a head coach keeping his distance a very far distance away from him. And so I think that part was nice. That part was comforting because it really does feel like that was the sign of a head coach that is like, I'm going to do something with you. I know the plans for you. You don't know. I know what they are. I'm excited. Let's get to work. Meanwhile, if Monken in the entire interview process had been like, listen, Shedeur, I was telling Andrew Berry, I don't think we can do this. Like, we got to get somebody else. We got to get different quarterbacks. We got to figure out something else. It's got to be different. Then you probably wouldn't have had that embrace. You probably wouldn't have had that excitement. You probably wouldn't have had the mentality that Monken had. And ultimately, all a Shedeur fan wants is to have somebody to be as interested in Shedeur as we are about Shedeur.
Obviously, there was the Albert Breer report yesterday. One of the 6 questions,
y'all faking and
whatever
perpetrating.
essay or questionnaire, whatever the hell it was, that the Browns handed out to potential head coaches. One of them was, what would you do with, Shedeur Sanders? Mm-hmm. And so, obviously, that already led people to connect the dots and say, well, Todd Monken's here. He must have liked Shedeur Sanders. Plus the fact that Baltimore was going to try and draft him last year, and then obviously he said, please don't. I want to go to a place I can play. It is just interesting to me how much people want to put it. Even like the Shedeurs were really furious about this. And
they were mad about it? What were they mad about?
Just mad that anybody showed any kind of interest in doing anything with Shedeur.
Did they expect the new coach to come out in here and be like, nope, don't love him?
Maybe Heisman him?
Because I do think that was a worry that some people had, that the new coach would come in and just immediately Heisman him and stiff arm him and move him away. And that's kind of what was nice about this moment. It doesn't mean Shedeur is going to start week 1. My goodness, we have so much time to go. We have so much roster moves to happen. But it does mean, at least on the surface of it, you can tell Monken was excited about being with Shedeur.
I looked at it. Listen, I probably wouldn't have reacted any differently if it was Deshaun or if it was Dylan Gabriel, right? Because to me, I love the enthusiasm out of Monken. And that's no disrespect to Kevin. Kevin's down in Atlanta with another droid named Matt Ryan, where they can just be emotionless in offense in an office together. But I was excited to see some excitement out of Todd Monken, but it's funny, I don't look at any of these quarterbacks and think to myself, well, he needs to do this, or that. Whatever the quarterback room looks like come September, I just actually have some more faith that I think he's going to get the most out of whatever you have there, because it just doesn't feel like whatever preset opinions there were with Kevin or biases, I don't feel like they are there. I think Todd Monken seems like a guy who spent his entire career not getting the benefit of the doubt, not getting a chance to prove what he can do. So I imagine he looks at whether it's Deshaun with 4 lost seasons now in Cleveland, or Shedeur and the way the media covered him, Dylan Gabriel and just how he loves to throw to the line of scrimmage. But that risky thing, I can imagine he looks at these guys and goes, well, listen, nobody gave me a chance until this. I might as well give them chances. I like that perspective from a head coach, because not just at quarterback, at every position.
Yeah, but it just wasn't the enthusiasm and the expression that you would have if you're like, oh, we're getting rid of this guy in a month. Where I can do nothing with this guy. That wasn't that, and I think that's what a lot of people are excited about. All right, a couple other things, too, off this. I thought it was interesting how I wanted Shedeur to give Andrew Berry a little bit more love. Mm-hmm. You know, he kind of went really fast by Andrew Berry. They did Berry was really excited, which is also a good sign for whatever that's worth. He was really he was there, and then he just kind of moved past him really kind of quickly. I wanted him to maybe give a little bit more thought to the guy that is at this point
an ass-in hug.
At this point, whatever you got to do, you got to do. But it was very quickly I want to talk to the coach now. Thanks, good to see you, Andrew, but I need to be doing this. Suck it up a little bit here, Shedeur. Let's do a little bit more bootlicking there, because Andrew's done a lot for you at this point. Let's give him some credit here.
I think
wanted a little bit more out of that.
We might have hit the point of overanalyzing a 15-second video.
Completely in depth on this, and that's where we're at today. That's the Friday that we're at.
I also noticed that when Todd Monken walked into the building, and there's the video of him dapping up J.W. Johnson first, and then he daps up Andrew Berry.
Yeah.
Andrew, I gotta say, quality dap up by Andrew.
Yeah,
if we're gonna do the Zapruder thing,
and not as good for JW, if we're being honest about it.
I actually didn't pay, and I kind of disregarded.
I'm a body language guy, Nick. I like to read body language. I like to read.
Wait, was it J.W. Johnson was really a Shieldhouse guy?
No. JW was into it.
Oh, he was too into it?
JW was into it. Monken didn't seem very much like how Shedeur kind of moved past Andrew pretty quickly. Kind of felt like Monken moved past JW a little quickly on that one. So we've done it. We did it. We did the whole. Other thought on this. Monken said, I got a whole story to tell you, Shedeur, about what happened with the Ravens, what really went down. And then he knew that the cameras were there. He's like, we're going to have to do this a little bit later on. At some point, I want that whole story. I want the real, unvarnished truth into what happened, because he's got more of that story than he wants to let on and what he wants to tell in front of the cameras.
216-474-0092.
The fact is, they wanted to draft him, and he didn't go.
At Nick Wilson says, at Jay Peterlin on social media reactions on X. Todd Monken met Shedeur Sanders in Berea this morning. Many people had many takes on the subject. What were yours? And again, social media reactions on X, powered by Scheiben Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store. We got quick hits coming up at 2:40. We've got Rhett Lewis, NFL Network host. We'll be talking Bowl, which is this weekend in Mobile, Alabama.